Today we're going to talk about the north and south lunar nodes. They're on the axis between Virgo and Pisces. And it's going to last for quite a while yet. And the moon is going to reach one of them, which is going to trigger the other one. So we'll try and see what it can, bring to us in various ways by looking at analyzing the configurations that are going to be produced while the moon is around the lunar node. Let's have a look at the chart now. In this chart you see that the south lunar node is in Virgo, and next to the south lunar node is Venus. 10 degrees for Venus, 19 degrees for Venus, and 16, almost 17 for the south lunar node. Now, the north one is, of course, at exactly the same position across than the south lunar node, which is 16 degrees and 49 minutes in Pisces. And the moon is next to it. The moon is going to align on the 5th of October at about 7 a.m. That's, of course, universal time once again. So it's going to trigger the north lunar node, which represents that toward which we should be, tending to go. So where is it that you want to go? That is a question that you need to ask yourself before you go anywhere. Otherwise, you're going to go without knowing where you go, which could make it more confusing. The journey, and the goal, the objective, where are you going to go? That is a question. And what is the situation going to lead you to as well, perhaps the situation in which you are or have been for a while. There is a square, which is a discordance, we can see here, involving Vesta. Vesta is an asteroid that orbits between Mars and Jupiter, and to me it is linked to the idea of harmony and balance. So Vesta is in Sagittarius, and as such, it is going to be most probably destabilized by these two nodes. They're challenging, actually, your well-being and your balance. And if you lose your balance, you may be feeling worse than what you should be if you could keep calm and more objective, perhaps, to deal with the situation. Unfortunately, if we can say that, the moon represents our emotions. So if you're too emotional about what's going on at the moment, you may lose that necessary cool, and objectivity to deal with the situation. Well, Venus is going to be triggered as well. Venus is in harmony with the black moon as well as the moon and the north lunar node. Actually, we have here a triangle, which is a blue one. So a blue one is a fairly good one, except for this one, of course. This is the spine of it, if we can call it that way. So Venus is love, naturally, but you see, love is in Virgo, so love is questioning itself. Why? How? How long? And so on. Those questions may arise during this period, and when the moon reaches the north lunar node, the time will be ripe, in my opinion, to move toward the objective that you need, perhaps, more than want, need to reach. It may be a challenge, yes, But the black moon is showing that because of the positive links involving the lunar nodes, Venus and the moon, which is this, here. The black moon represents the dark zone. So what is it? If you're able to produce some sort of explanation, and if you're able to share what that dark zone is, it most probably will help you achieve much more and eventually reach the goal, or at least obtain a better result. Now the moon is going to carry on and it will reach Saturn. And when it does, it triggers the energy of Saturn, then it triggers the energy of Neptune, probably around the same day. Let's have a look at it now. So that will be on the 6th of September. Saturn, then Neptune will be reached or met by the transit of the moon. So here is the chart. You see, it's midnight on the 6th. That's for Saturn. And then it's 6 a.m. 6 a.m. when the moon reaches Neptune. So that's universal time once again. Now, Saturn represents the reality of life. Neptune represents what we tend to believe, to feel, to assume that, it's not necessarily linked to the reality in life. So we'll have to deal with Neptune, because if it represents what we believe is not perhaps the reflection of reality. But when the moon reaches Saturn, we will be much more able to deal with whatever happens in a rational manner. And because Saturn is in harmony with the black moon as well, what I've just said about showing your true colors, more or less, that's what it means, will become a source of concrete satisfaction. So you should be getting a good result from what you are going to try and obtain, thanks to the transit of the moon and to the configurations that involve Saturn. There is the black moon, of course, but there is Jupiter as well. So the link, which is a very nice aspect involving Saturn and Jupiter, is going to be enhanced, increased in its energy, in its positive energy. So Jupiter represents progress, evolution, success. There is a potential to succeed then, shown by these configurations. And it all converges to the black moon. So that is, in my opinion, the main area that you have to be true to. Because the black moon also represents what we tend to hide, We don't want to be worried about something that is not really nice and perhaps not really enjoyable, you're not very proud of, and so on. But perhaps it is the best solution to actually show what it is and open the door to, stop hiding what is hidden through this position of the black moon. Because it's also in harmony with Venus and with the north and south lunar nodes, as we've seen earlier on. So Venus, well, it's love, it's compassion, and it's probably what will make the difference if you show that dark zone of yours. Maybe compassion will help others, or even yourself, to not only understand, but eventually forgive, rather than judge and be negative about the situation. When the moon reaches Neptune, 6 a.m., so 6 hours later, Neptune is still in Aries, 0 degree and 25 minutes in Aries. It's retrograding and it will eventually move back into Pisces, but not yet. So that means that the aspects that are going to be produced when the moon reaches Neptune only need to be considered from Pluto, which is really in sextile, forming a sextile, as we call it, with Pluto, with Neptune. Neptune and Pluto are, in a very positive relationship. And Neptune is also in harmony with Uranus. So this triangle here is going to be quite a positive asset to obtain once more something that will be more perhaps than when Saturn was reached earlier on, in a very sort of lofty and spiritual manner. It is a satisfaction that reaches higher than a higher level, at least, of satisfaction than when Saturn was reached by the moon. But because both Saturn and Neptune are close to one another, it means that they have to be taken into consideration together. So what you hope for, what your dream is, what the ideal situation would be, will have to go through phases. And the first one would be when the moon reaches the North Lunar Node. The second one when it reaches Saturn, and that's when you get a concrete sort of result, or at least, a part result, and a concrete motivation as well. And then Neptune. And that's most probably when the idea or notion of regeneration and change will become, most probably operational. That's when you're going to achieve the best result, because the following transit of the moon is, of course, when it goes through Aries and forms an opposition with the Sun. And that will be on October 7 at 3:47 in the morning. And that will be, of course, universal time. And it will be the full moon in Aries. And that's the chart. So that's the chart that I will analyze very soon, so that you can prepare yourself for this period until the new moon, which will occur in in Scorpio. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'll remind you about the fact that if you need a reading, don't hesitate to visit our website. You'll find the information to order a reading to Lucas. I'm not available at the moment to do that. I'm very, very, very busy. So I'm very sorry for that, but it's probably not going to last too long. So I will let you know when you can order a reading from me. Now, there are also my books. If you are interested in learning more about astrology, any subjects that are published on Amazon, just visit the site, and type my name, and you'll find all the books that I've written, both in French, Spanish as well, in French. So, thank you very much. See you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.